Hi, I'm Max.
Hi, and I'm Denise.
And welcome back to another edition of Urban Lifestyles. Our weather, one day we're hot, one day we're cold, but I guess it's just that time of year.
Yeah, it's the preview of what's to come.
Right. We've got a great show today. Some of the things we're going to be talking about is a piece that we did with AARP and also LG&E. And you had an opportunity to catch up with Marita Willis, who's running for office.
Yes.
And we're also going to talk with someone concerning Amendment 2. We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
I'm Marita Willis. I spent my entire life as an advocate and champion for everyone. My husband and I had lived in J-Town for over 40 years. It's where we raised our family and where I've committed my life to work to removing barriers, building strong bridges for open communications, and empowering people in J-Town and beyond to reach unlimited possibilities. I want to serve you on Louisville Metro Council to bring a new voice to District 20. I'm Marita Willis, and I approve this message.
Drive's gonna be the morning ride. Get the keys, let's go! Because you won't want to get out of the car when the Streets Morning Takeover is on the Ville's #1 for hip-hop.
Early in the morning.
96.5.
It's time to crack an egg.
Easy, any style egg works.
Or smile.
Well done, this looks great.
Time to share a story
A great way to start our discussion.
with old friends or new ones.
When you're a caregiver
Time to breathe in,
and count up, good job.
then let it all out. It's never been easier to connect, learn, and have fun.
Cheers.
So let's do it together. Come find us at aarp.org/
To make your life a little easier, because we know you've got your hands full. Our new mobile app gives you the power to check your account balance, review your payment history, and effortlessly pay your bill from anywhere, while making it easier than ever to report and track power outages. Download the app today to get the convenience of LG&E and KU at your fingertips.
Denise, you had an opportunity to catch up with LG&E, so tell us what's going on.
Well, winter is about to come upon us, and there are some things we need to know in regards to staying safe and keeping your bills down. So let's just take a look. So I'm here for another great interview with LG&E because energy does matter, and I'm here with Drew Gardner. And once again, welcome, Drew.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. It seems a little early to be talking about cold weather and winter temperatures, but we got that first taste of it, and now this is the time to really start thinking about what do I need to do to get ready for the temperatures to drop.
Because I just saw something that's rather alarming of what I do, but I know you're going to speak to this and to help better prepare me, because on here, in regards to the status of this filter, it's about more money you're going to spend. So let's talk about all this and everything about safety and preparation.
Yeah, so this is one of the easiest and most inexpensive ways that you can make sure that your HVAC system is running properly. You want to make sure that you are changing out that filter once a month. Now, it can vary depending on what kind of HVAC system you have, but your owner's manual, or it could be on the unit itself, you want to check. We always say first of the month, or when you get your energy bill, that's a good time to swap out that filter, because after 6 months, it's getting pretty dark, and not only are you circulating that kind of air and gook throughout your house, it's making your system work harder than it needs to. So that's a quick, easy thing. Another thing that you can do when you're getting ready for the winter is just go around and do a check of your baseboard registers if you have electric heat, or your vents. Make sure there's no obstructions. Make sure if there's pet hair or things like that, you run the vacuum over it and make sure that there is just free-flowing air coming out of those vents, because you don't want to block it up. That's also going to cause problems for your HVAC system. Now, you also should seasonally get your unit checked by a specialist. That does cost some money, but that on average will save you about $50 a year doing that. And now really is the time, because some people will probably kick the heat on, others are waiting, but you don't want to wait until that really big cold snap before you turn it on and realize, uh-oh, we have a problem. So that's why having a checkup is a good thing to do right now.
Okay, that's a really good point, because like you said, it had gone frost here locally, and I'm like, I kicked it on, and you're right, let's do it now, because when you really, really need it and something's wrong, there you have it.
Absolutely. So now is the time to prepare ahead of time so you don't get in one of those situations where you're without heat for any period of time. Now, of course, we know prices are still high all around. Inflation's coming down, but it's still tough for people. So if you do feel like you are going to have trouble paying your electric bills, we have our assistance programs, and those are at LG&E and KU on our website, lge-ku.com/assistance. Now, we don't have any control over who gets that money. Those are administered through different area ministries as well as the city. But our LIHEAP, the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, they're going to start taking applications on November 5th, and that goes until December 20th or until funding runs out. So if you think you may need some of that assistance, now's a good time to go to our website, see what kind of forms you need and how to apply, and get ready for those applications to open. You can also find all the other ways that there is assistance if you need it, so you can keep the heat on as we enter these cold months.
That's a very good assistance program. I guess the question I've heard from viewers: how do you know if I meet the criteria for it? But that's explained when you go online.
Yeah, every program is a little different, but all of the requirements are laid out right there on the page. Again, it's lge-ku.com/assistance, and it's going to tell you if you qualify. And of course, there's contact information. So if you see that and you're still not sure, you can always give those numbers a call, and there's people who are going to be able to assist you in figuring out if you meet the requirements and then what you need to do next.
One last thing. So all great information, Drew. We're coming in. The cold weather is coming. We want to make sure we're efficient and running and smooth and safe and saving money. What else do we need to know to be prepared for? Because it's coming.
Well, we'll end on a safety moment, because safety is the top priority always at LG&E and KU. We know sometimes that your unit is going to fail, or maybe you don't want to turn it on. You just want to use a little space heater because someone in the house is colder than the other person. So it's a good time to remember, when you're using those, keep them far away from blankets, curtains, even a fabric sofa, out of the highly traveled area. So you don't really want to have it at the edge of a walkway where it could get knocked over, because it doesn't take very long for that to come into contact with either carpeting or a fabric and start a fire. So always remember those tips, and remember, if you leave the room, turn that space heater off.
That's some very vital information, things that I think a lot of people just take for granted, and especially about changing those filters. And when you're looking at it on the screen to see just the different variations in color when you're not on top of your game, it can really make a difference.
Yeah, that was kind of alarming, but I'm staying on top of my game in regard to keeping your filters changed.
We'll take another break and back with more.
Steve Harvey Morning Show is the best that there is. Period.
You make me.
Oh, I can work it around. We are here as usual.
That's too much. This the one.
We right here. You wake up and catch me from 6 to 10 on your number one station for R&B, Magic 101.3.
It's time to crack an egg.
Easy, any style egg works.
Or smile.
Well done. This looks great.
Time to share a story.
I have a great way to start our discussion.
With old friends or new ones.
When you're a caregiver.
Time to breathe in.
And count up. Good job.
Then let it all out. It's never been easier to connect, learn, and have fun.
Cheers.
So let's do it together. Come find us at aarp.org/
From one place to another. It's healthy, social, good for the environment, and anyone can do it. We at Middletown love cycling and really love helping others discover a new passion. Stop in today and let our friendly, knowledgeable staff help you get started. We cater to beginners as well as experienced cyclists. We're a local business that cares about our community because we are a part of the community. Come in today and get on a bicycle that fits your needs and improve your life.
If you've turned on a television, looked at any type of social media, you know that election issues are something that are very pivotal this year.
Very much so.
Right. And we had an opportunity to catch up with Michelle Pennick to talk about a very important issue that's coming up here in Louisville, and it's called Amendment 2, so take a look. I'm here with Michelle Pennick. She's a former principal with Jefferson County Public Schools, and we are here today, first of all, because there's a very important election coming up, and first and foremost, we think that everybody should definitely be voting, correct?
Oh, absolutely. In this election of 2024, this is the time to vote. This is the time to make our voice heard.
All right. And as we're looking at voting and having your voice heard, there is an amendment. And tell us about Amendment 2 and what it means.
Amendment 2, basically in simplistic forms, will divert taxpayer monies from the public school system and allow for parents to have vouchers that would in turn be used at private institutions, private schools in our city. So parents would have the option to send their students to private schools. The downside of that is that the tuition at those schools is more than the voucher we would receive. So parents would still be responsible for filling in that gap.
How good has the information been disseminated that's letting people really know the differences in what happens in relationship to private schools and public schools as it relates to this funding?
Well, one of the things that we know for sure, and it's unfortunate, just as we see in the presidential campaign, there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation out there about what Amendment 2 will do. You have to be really astute and you really have to know the issue to understand that it is not being portrayed fairly and equitably for all people who are voters this year. We see them putting out things that make it appear that this is a good thing for all communities, and it's not, especially not for the African American community.
And what are going to be some of the shortfalls or disadvantages as it relates to the African American community?
Well, for us, as the African American community, one of the disadvantages of this is going to be the cost of tuition, the lack of accountability in attending a private school, also the lack of transportation that's provided for attending a private school. The tuition vouchers will not cover that.
All right. And if you haven't registered to vote, you should definitely make sure that you are registered.
Absolutely. Now, the deadline for registration was yesterday. However, you can still call and make sure that there aren't going to be any gaps when you show up at the door to actually vote. Make sure that you know where your polling station is and get there early. I think this is going to be a big one.
You know, it's great to have her on to just talk about, how Amendment 2 can affect you depending on who you are, your status in life, public school, private school, and hopefully this information will help people to make an informed decision.
Yeah, and basically, as they say, information is power. Information and the right information is power.
We'll take another break and back with more.
It's time to crack an egg.
Easy, any style egg works here.
Or smile.
Well done, this looks great.
Time to share a story.
I have a great way to start our discussion.
With old friends or new ones.
When you're a caregiver.
Time to breathe in.
And count up. Good job.
Then let it all out. It's never been easier to connect, learn, and have fun.
Cheers.
So let's do it together. Come find us at aarp.org/
Well, as we do every month, we have a feature with AARP, and today we're talking about some information that's very important, regardless if you are a member of AARP, because if you're not, if you live long enough, you're definitely going to get there. But some very important things you need to know concerning voting. First of all, in Kentucky, some key dates. The voter registration closed on October the 7th, so hopefully you beat that and you did get registered. And the deadline to request a mail-in ballot is Tuesday, October the 22nd, so make sure if you haven't registered that you do request that mail-in ballot. And then the deadline to return in a mail-in ballot is, do you have any idea?
No, you give me the information.
Okay. The date is Tuesday, November the 5th, and it has to be turned in by 6 p.m. And finally, Election Day is, of course, Tuesday, November the 5th. The polls open at 6 a.m. and they close at 6 p.m. So if you want great information, AARP is always a great source.
Absolutely. Please.
So, yeah, and
to the website. And what's that information for the website?
It's aarp.org. And whether if you want information about where to dine out, health and wellness, there are always tips out there for you from AARP. We'll take another break and back with more.
Hi, my name is Lauren Horton Yates. I'm a digital media specialist here at Louisville Water, and I am in charge of the company's social media accounts and digital media. I found this opportunity. I used to work in the news, so this was a great transition. Our vice president of communications, she runs our department like a newsroom, so this was an easy transition for me. The most satisfying and the The best part of this job is that every day is different. I get to interview employees as well as people in the community, a lot of our community partners. And I also get to cover a lot of community events as well. We have award-winning Louisville Pure Tap. There's no need to buy bottled water because you have great tasting, some of the best tasting water in America coming right out of your faucet. This is a great place to work. We have excellent benefits. Even though we service more than 1 million people, this is actually one of the smaller companies. We have around 500 people. So it's actually like a family here at Louisville Water. Advice I would have for someone looking for a career in digital media is to never stop learning. There's always new opportunities to take part in, and there's always something new around the corner. So just taking those skills of writing, journalism, as well as videography, and using them for the public good. When I travel, I try to take a Louisville Pure Tap bottle with me because we have some of the best tasting water, and it's hard to beat that on the road.
Steve Harvey Morning Show is the best that there is. Period.
Yeah, don't you make me.
Oh, I can work it around. We are here as usual.
That's too much. This the one.
We right here. You wake up and catch me from 6 to 10 on your number one station for R&B, Magic 101.3.
It's time to crack an egg.
Easy, any style egg works.
Or smile.
Well done, this looks great.
Time to share a story.
I have a great way to start our discussion.
With old friends or new ones.
When you're a caregiver.
Time to breathe in.
And count up. Good job.
Then let it all out. It's never been easier to connect, learn, and have fun.
Cheers.
So let's do it together. Come find us at aarp.org/.
So, Denise, you had an opportunity to catch up with Marita Willis, who has thrown her hat in the ring, and she's running for councilor.
Yes, she is. Marita has been a public servant, I'm going to say, for years and years, and now for her to finally go upon another step in entering into this, I'll say, ring is very exciting. But let's just take a look at what she had to say. So we're in the season of politics, and I'm here at a fundraiser for a phenomenal woman. She is now running for the Louisville Metro Council District 20. And I want to introduce you to Mrs. Marita Willis. She has a heart and a spirit for service, and it's befitting that now she's running for this office. And Marita, welcome back to Urban Lifestyle.
Oh, thank you. I think we were on the first Urban Lifestyle, so it's so phenomenal to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Exactly. So, Marita, I know that you and your husband both, but you especially, you do a lot of things to serve this community and just for service and helping individuals anyway. Tell me about how you became inspired to run to be a council woman, and then what was the steps to prepare you for doing this?
Denise, I've always been a servant leader. When I look back at my life, I was taught to be a servant leader. You know, I grew up in a family with a single mom and 6 other siblings, and people gave to us, and I was a Cabbage Patch Kid, and Cabbage Patch Kid taught us how to be servant leaders. So today I stand here as a servant leader. To prepare myself to be this servant leader, I've had the opportunity to be appointed to different boards and commissions in this community. I led the Louisville Water Company for several years as the board chair, Nativity Academy. I am now chair of MSD and Children's Foundation, the Norton's Children's Foundation Hospital. So, and then in 2022, someone had called and told me about Emerge Kentucky. And Emerge Kentucky is a 6-month program that teaches us how to be good leaders as Democratic women.
Oh, that's great. So now, because I know that you're not intimidated by taking on the role. So what are some of your, I'm going to say, your goals that you have in mind for serving this, the council and this part of the Jefferson County community?
Well, you know, District 20 is the largest district in the Metro Council, and Metro Councils are the body that governs Jefferson County. So that's what a Metro Council does. So my goal, as I would love to champion things with public safety, transportation, housing, education, and public safety.
So Marita, I would say you fit all the criteria that's needed and even more And I just look forward to hearing about all the great things you're going to do. And what last words do you have for those out there?
My last words would be come out and vote November 5th for Marita Willis, Louisville Metro Council District 20.
You know, knowing Marita for over 40 years, she definitely brings a very unique perspective to the role. She's a people person, and she's out there really doing her part to really make a difference.
Yes, and she's done a lot. I just say she is a public servant for real.
We'll take another break and back with more.
Drive's gonna be the morning ride. Get the keys, let's go! Because you won't want to get out of the car when the Streets Morning Takeover is on the Ville's #1 for hip-hop.
Early in the morning.
96.5.
I'm Marita Willis. I spent my entire life as an advocate and champion for everyone. My husband and I had lived in J-Town for over 40 years. It's where we raised our family and where I've committed my life to work to removing barriers, building strong bridges for open communications, and empowering people in J-Town and beyond to reach unlimited possibilities. I want to serve you on Louisville Metro Council to bring a new voice to District 20. I'm Marita Willis, and I approve this message.
Hey, Max and Denise and all my play cousins. It's your girl Shay K, and it's Magic 101.3. And I wanted to stop in really quick just to tell you some of the things that we've got going on at Magic. Now, when all else fails, our website, 1013online.com, is where you can go and get anything you think you may have missed out on. Now, you can get celebrity news, you can stream us live, and you can also get caught up on community events. If you happen to have a free community event, free to the community, make sure you hit that website and submit it, and Magic wants to have your back. You can also make sure that you're entering to win, because the only way you're going to win is if you enter. So make sure that website's locked and loaded. And our station number is 502-795-1013. You can call that number with those birthday shout outs. You can call and ask questions, or you can just call and say hey to us. We don't mind talking to the play cousins. And last but not least, make sure you are always rocking with your #1 for throwbacks and R&B, and your home to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. It's Magic 101.3.
Weeks back, we had two amazing artists in town. We had Kevin Jackson and Joaquin Joyner, and we got an opportunity to do some interviews with those. And we're going to share one with you this afternoon, and that's with Kevin Jackson. Take a look.
So you all know I am a smooth jazz enthusiast. I love good smooth jazz music. So I was visiting Baltimore this May, happened to go into this club there called Keystone, and the entertainment that night was Kevin Jackson. I'm like, why does that name sound familiar to me? Once he started performing, I'm like, oh my God, this brother put it down. I told Max, if we ever have an event, jazz event again, I'm gonna have to get him. You know what? I got him, and he's here. And Kevin Jackson, welcome to Urban Lifestyles.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I am so delighted and excited that you're here. But in my mind, first of all, you have such full command of your instrument. I want to know, how did you decide to pick up an instrument, and it was the guitar?
Actually, my mother had a little acoustic guitar laying around the house, and I think I was 8 years old, and I started playing it, and she saw something, and she started cultivating it and taking me to all these gospel programs, and I just fell in love with the concept of music and the guitar and everything, the producing, the writing. I got bit by the bug, and I couldn't get over it.
So the next question is, for me, how did you decide on this genre of music, or smooth jazz?
So that's an interesting question. So most people start off, like for instance, there's Michael Jackson and Carlos Santana, and they both got these Grammys for, I think, Thriller and Supernatural. And I started off that way. I started getting all these different genres. In fact, a friend of mine named Marcel, can't think of his name, but he told me that I was the Robert Glasper of Baltimore, and I didn't know what he meant, because I was grabbing different people and making this compilation CD. I did that for my first two, and then one day I got a call to play for Ollie Silk. He's a smooth jazz keyboardist from London, and I met him over in New Jersey, and I was amazed at the dedication, just everything that went in, not only to making that show. When that particular show was Ali, Mesa, Marion Meadows, and Najee. and the budget that goes into it, the screens, the smoke, the front house mix, the stage mix, everything went into just like it was an R&B budget. And I said, that's what I'm going to do. And most importantly, are the fans. The fans are fanatical when it comes to smooth jazz. And if you're on stage with someone, they remember you. Oh, that's the guy that was on stage with Ali Silk or with Jakeem Joyner, or there was one performing with later today. But yeah, and from there I started making smooth jazz CDs.
And I want to know, you travel a lot, you perform a lot exquisitely well. What's your favorite part about the times that you're performing?
Just dialing in with the band. Usually, you want to have a good house band. Tonight, I feel good about the band. They sound like they know what they're talking about. Not every band at every city, people take pride into playing your music. But once they do that, then you can dial in, and it's just going to be a great time. So I would say the process of giving the information out and relaying with the MD, and of course the fans who haven't, if they know my music, if they know the lyrics, if they know the melodies, that's a plus as well.
Denise, that was an excellent interview that you did with Kevin Jackson. He was excellent when we saw him the first time, and he superseded himself when he was here in Louisville.
Yeah, everyone enjoyed him when we had the Destination Smooth Jazz 1.
Mm-hmm.
Also coming up will be Destination Smooth Jazz number 2. It's going to be Friday, November the 1st. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have it at the Bourbon Hall. We're going to have another 2 great smooth jazz artists. It's going to be...
Oh, I get to talk now?
Yeah.
It's going to be Nathan Mitchell and BK Jackson. They're number 1 and number 2 on the smooth jazz charts. So if you're looking for a great date night, or you just want to get out with the fellas or with the ladies, this is an event you don't want to miss. And you know what? I think that's our show.
Oh, and that's our time.
And we'll see you back here next time on Urban Lifestyles. And remember to vote and take the shot.
Bye.
Oh, and you can find your tickets on Eventbrite.